Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Rick Wallace coming to you this morning with a motivational and empowering message. Hopefully, we can get to the point and everybody will be able to take something away from what I leave you with. That is the goal every time that I come forth. It is to, while inspiring the majority, to plant seeds of possibility and then to encourage those who hear to step out and cultivate those seeds and to take action to better position themselves to realize some of the dreams, the visions, the goals, the ideas, the desires that they have in their heart and in their mind, to provide the courage to step outside of the box that they have been placed in through the assessments, the reflected appraisals and opinions of others, and to begin to build their own sense of identity and purpose and own sense of desires and destiny. So when I'm talking to you, when I'm engaging you, it is to a certain extent to inspire you. Again, like I said, I don't believe you have to motivate people who understand where they are and what's needed for them and by them. I think people are motivated. Parents are motivated to be able to provide for their children. Spouses are motivated to be able to sustain a certain level of comfort for their mates. People are motivated by the need to make sure that they are financially secure. There are people who don't understand financial literacy, and so they don't understand how, and so they pretty much give up on the conversation or the idea because they start to believe that struggling financially is their lot in life. But I believe most people are motivated for a lot of things. I don't think you really need motivation. I think you need inspiration. I think you need encouragement. I think you need enlightenment. I think you need someone to be able to lay it out for you in a way that you can see it and understand it. To tap into a lot of the ambient noises and cloud noises that go on inside of your head and your mind as you move through the day. Life is moving at such a rapid pace now that it's easy to get overwhelmed by all of the external noises that are happening in your life. There are so many different realities being thrown at you at one time. It's hard to decipher what's real, what's not, what applies to you, what doesn't. And so you need, thanks, Paul, you need a blueprint. You need something that you can sit up and look at every day and say, man, if I just do this, I'm going to be better tomorrow than I am today. And I'm hoping that I can share just a little with you of a little of what I do with my clients on a consistent basis in the development of in the process of personal development in whatever area they're looking for it. I get people who are looking to be better husbands, better wives, be better parents, to take their career and their earning potential to a new level, and all of those different things. It all starts in the mind. It all starts with understanding who you are, and at the most elementary or rudimentary level, it starts with an understanding of who you are and your self-image. And it's a position of self-awareness. And so I'm going to talk to you real briefly this morning about the power of self-image. Not self-image so much today, but self-awareness. There's a distinction, but self-awareness is this thing that you must have in order to really truly understand your capacity to do anything. A lot of people are living under a veil that separates them from their self-awareness and what they believe is possible. Two totally different things. Self-awareness is an honest assessment of who you are, where you are, what's in your life that could be detrimental, what's in your life that you're sitting on that has massive potential. When you take self-awareness comes from doing an inventory, taking an inventory on your life, taking an inventory, asking yourself, who do I have in my life now that absolutely is bringing no benefit? Who do I have in my life that just being around drains me? Who do I have in my life that adds value to my life? How does that look? What's the ratio? How many people do I have that add value? How many people are in my circle or my periphery that literally bring no value, and many drain me of my energy, drain me of my passion, drain me of my motivation? That it's extremely important to tell you. You got to also ask yourself, what things are a part of me now? What things that I do subconsciously, consistently, on a regular basis that actually benefit me in no way and maybe even detrimental to me? What things have I brought along in my life that I have done for so long that it's literally become a part of who I am, without me ever even giving any attention to it, that is detrimental to me? Am I inherently negative? Maybe not overtly, maybe not intensively, but do I look at things and immediately when I see something unfavorable, I automatically say, I can't win for losing. Everything that will go bad is going to go bad today. Am I that person? Do I need to work on that? Do I need to evaluate that in my life? What am I doing that's leading to fulfillment? This is so huge. People have presented all of these nebulous definitions of success to the point that no one really even understands what success is anymore. You got people shooting for goals that bring no fulfillment whatsoever. And I've just looked, and to me, success is something that should feel good. Success is something that should bring some sense of satisfaction, some sense of accomplishment, some sense of, hey, this is what I'm built for. And to me, you are most successful when you're operating in your purpose, when you're able to look it within yourself, evaluate your design, and determine what you were designed to do and what you feel most fulfilled with when doing. And a lot of time, that's not going to be your job. That's why I distinguish between your work and your job. Your job is basically a vehicle for revenue generation that has limitations. And we're not getting into that today, but it has limitations. It's a way of work, a way of earning money, but not the best way. And we'll leave it at that. But then your work is that thing that you just have to do. It's inside of you. It's a passion. And some of you have allowed the push for doing other things that people have told you should be doing, going after goals that people define for you as being successful. You've spent so much time doing that, you've actually diminished the passion you have for your own purpose. And now it's lying dormant in your life. You're not accessing it. You're not doing it. You're not serving it. You're not, and there's no fulfillment. You've become complacent in your contentment. And you hear Christians talking all the time about Paul saying, I've learned to be content in all things. But being content is not being fulfilled. Being content, it says, I am where I'm at right now, and I'm not going to allow that to diminish me. I'm not going to allow that to define me. I'm not going to become so negatively consumed by where I'm at right now that I can never fight my way out. But it's never saying I'm fulfilled in wherever I'm at. It's saying I'm content, meaning that I've learned how to bring about a certain level of stability in my life no matter where I'm at. I've brought a certain level of confidence, a certain level of functionality, a certain level of contribution and impact no matter where I'm at in my life, no matter how bad things have gotten financially, in a filial sense, relationally. It doesn't matter. I'm still having an impact on the people around me. No matter where I'm at, I'm still functional. And that's what contentment is about. It's about not allowing negative circumstances to overwhelm you to the point that you become dysfunctional and you have no value. It's not about saying this is where I'm cool with being and I'm okay with it. No, you should be fighting to be in that place of fulfillment as often as possible, where you are functioning optimally in your gifts, in your talents, in your purpose. But you got to constantly evaluate. Ask yourself some questions. Am I living in my purpose? I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to share something with you that's personal, but it's going to prove to you a point that how you can identify with something so much that it becomes a part of you, and it's a thing that you don't want, but you've identified with it so much you can't get rid of it, and now it's become a part of you. It's the power of the subconscious mind. I talk about it all the time. And one of the things that you have to be real careful with when you are functioning or operating in a sphere where you're teaching people how to do something and you're investing in people and you're showing them how to do things in a certain way that can be beneficial, you got to be very careful that you don't get so invested in it that you stop practicing it yourself, or you get so caught up in it that you're not consistently doing what you're teaching others to do, which is to consistently evaluate where you're at, ask yourself the questions, take the inventory, ask yourself why this is happening and what are you contributing to it so that you know what to do to stop it. You're in control of your life. You're always in control of your life. The problem is we've become so consumed with certain things and identifying with things we shouldn't identify with that we have lost the understanding that we're in control. Well, with me, those of you who are aware of some things that have happened recently, you know that I went through a major medical issue in October. Matter of fact, it started October 1st. And one part of this medical emergency was the fact that I had both shoulders dislocated and the upper left arm fractured. And that came with a lot of, if you've ever had a shoulder dislocation and it was the highest grade shoulder dislocation, you know what I'm talking about when I say pain. Not add a fracture to a part of the arm that was never meant to be broken. It's the humerus is a pretty thick bone for an arm bone, and it was broken. And so here I am, and I've got this pain, right? Now, there were a lot of other conditions that were significant enough that it put me in ICU for several days. But the thing I remember most is the pain. Why? Because that's the thing that lasted the longest. And so here I am. I'm fighting to get through this pain. I'm fighting to heal. I'm fighting to get back to where I can even use my arms. There was a point in time I couldn't use my arms. Thank God that, I got through that. But let me explain something. I've been battling pain, man. I've been taking medication, and I've got this thing where I've been battling pain. And the thing where people ask, man, how's everything going, man? Everything's going good, but this pain. Everything's going good, but this pain. When baby would ask me, how you doing? I'm like, I'm fighting in a little pain. I'm trying to get through the day, but in pain. And baby, it's gonna be okay. You can do it. Just remember, it's temporary. All right, I got it. It's just temporary. And I'm going, and the whole time I'm talking about to other people, be careful what you identify with. Be careful what you identify with. And then yesterday, I'm just sitting up and I said, okay, I need to go for my daily walk. So I, throw on some warm-ups and everything, and which is not that hard because that's pretty much what I'm wearing anyway. But I throw on some warm-ups and throw on something I can sweat out, and I hit the road, got my headphones on, and I'm walking. And I've got, a lot of times I have this aggressive music because I attack life. So I'm listening to some old school aggressive hip hop. And I'm in this aggressive mode, and I'm visualizing how I'm attacking life, how I'm going at it, all the things that I'm going to do this year, all the things that are going to come subsequent to that, how I'm setting myself up for the next level, how I'm rebuilding and doing it in a more constructive and substantial way to support me on the long term. And so I've got all this and I'm going. And then the thing I notice is as I'm moving in this, I notice something that happens all the time, but I hadn't paid attention to it because I'm always so into it. When I get out there and I get into my mind and I get out and I start to remind myself of how powerful I am, how gifted I am, all the things I'm capable of doing, all the things I've done in the past, just all these things of lining up what I can do. And like I tell you before, I never ever entertain with any kind of significant thought what I can't do. I don't look at what I can't do. What I can't do is going to present itself until I do it. And that's how I look at things. There's no such thing as something I can't do. If I'm looking at it in that manner, it means I haven't attacked it. I haven't addressed it. I'm not engaging it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what I can do and I know I can do. I'm going to go after that. Then I'm going to set the standard higher and higher and higher till I get past that thing that looked impossible in the past. And that's how I function. But so I'm walking and I'm doing this and it's going through my mind. And then all of a sudden it hits me. Hey, dude, where's the pain? Where's the pain? And I'm like, man, where is the pain? And I have these moments throughout the day where there's no pain and I'm not taking meds. I don't take meds during the day because I want to be lucid. So I'm not taking meds. The meds are night things so I can sleep. And I'm going like, wait, hold on a second. And I start checking back and there are these moments. When I'm in the gym, I'm feeling good. When I'm walking, I'm feeling good. When I'm on the bike, I'm feeling good. you know, and I'm working back to get myself, I'm 17 pounds down. That was one of the problems. I got so caught up in everything else, I let something that has always been a passion in me get on the back burner. So I took that back in control. So I'm doing these things, right? And yesterday I'm walking and hey, hold on a second. So the first thing I do is dude, you've over-identified with the pain. It's something that you just now, you've identified with it. It's become a part of you. It's what you tell when people ask you how you doing, man. You know, if I could just get past this pain, man, this pain is, you know, it's wearing on me. All these different things. And then all of a sudden you start to look psychosomatically, the pain is a problem. It's not that the pain doesn't exist, but you're magnifying the pain by giving it so much power. You're magnifying the pain by identifying with it. You're magnifying the pain by giving it a sense of place in your life that you don't have control over. The first thing I did is I come back home, I go to the bedroom, and I look at the nightstand on my side of the bed, and it's a freaking shrine to my pain. There's all these freaking pill bottles that I finished and they're still sitting there. And there's this shrine. I immediately rake all of it off into a bag and toss it. I set up what I think I absolutely have to have. I haven't taken it, actually the pain medicine in 2 nights. So the night before that, I hadn't taken it. And then I sit up and decided that I wasn't going to take it last night and got through the night better than the nights that I would take the medicine. Why? Because I decided in my mind that pain will not control my life, that I will acknowledge that it's there and that what is left of it is still reminding me that I have not completely physically healed. So what am I going to do? I'm going through my subconscious into my soul and my spirit, and I'm going to heal myself through reverse healing. In other words, the way that you heal physically is to make sure that you're in balance emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. If there is no balance emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, in other words, if you're in any way in anxiety and stress, in disquietude in your mind, your emotions, your spirit, or your soul, you're going to find that you're going to have problems physically. A lot of physical ailments are psychosomatic, meaning that they developed out of some form of stress in another area of your life. And so what you do is you start the healing process. What can I do spiritually? What can I do emotionally? What can I do psychologically that will begin to lift the imbalance that's creating a problem physically? Now, I know that my physical situation actually came from other physical issues that were actually injuries. So there's a physical healing process, but you can literally prolong your healing process by not having balance in other areas. And if you're worrying about how you're paying the bills, if you're worrying about your marriage, if you're worrying about the kids, if you're worrying about where you're fitting in your job or your job laying off, how you're going to manage money, how you're going to build and make yourself secure in your finances. All of that stuff is actually carrying over into your physical health, and it's causing a problem that's now in a cyclical process because now you're worried about your physical health because you haven't felt like that before, or it's becoming more chronic and you don't know what to do about it. You're afraid to go to the doctor because you don't know what the doctor's going to say, and now that's feeding that mental imbalance that started it in the first place, making it worse. I'm talking about cancer patients that have found unbelievable advances in their health and improvements in their health by changing their mindset. See, when you develop a mindset that is centered around the possibilities of your design, see, you were gifted with the capacity to heal yourself. I don't want to get too much in that because that's not really what I'm talking about now. What I'm talking about is once I stopped identifying with the pain immediately diminished. It hasn't gone away because it still reminded me, don't overdo it. Don't do too much with this or that arm because that arm hasn't healed all the way. And so you don't want to re-injure it. But all the other pain I was feeling was actually me identifying with the pain and giving up my power over the pain. And I had to actually myself go back and take my own advice. Disconnect with the identity. I don't want to identify with pain. I don't even want to identify with the illness. What I want to identify with is the capacity to overcome the pain, overcome the illness, overcome any situation that I face in my life. So what I do is I immediately address anything that may be feeding the identity. When I walk in my room, immediately there's this big shrine of all these medications that I've taken to try to deal with this situation, reminding me that I don't have control over it. I got rid of it. That's what you got to do when you're trying to address issues associated with self-awareness. See, self-awareness is understanding where you're at, what you're doing, how you're doing it, what's impacting you negatively, what's impacting you positively, how to manage that, how to improve on that, how to get the best out of yourself. A lot of us are diminishing ourselves because we don't have a sense of self-awareness. Some of us have shrunk back so far from our capacity and potential in order to subsidize relationships in which other people have image problems, have faith problems, have trust problems, and all these other issues. We spend so much time trying to subsidize and facilitate these relationships that we shrink back in our own capacity to accomplish things to the point that it becomes habit. You've got to take an inventory of the people in your lives. And I know it's hard. It's hard to push some people away, especially when some of those people are people that you're related to, especially when some of those people are the people that you're fighting to get better for. Sometimes you got to have distance between you and the ones that you're fighting to be better for in order to become better. Because they can't see it for you, because they can't see it for themselves. Let me get something very clear with you right now. You cannot ever have anyone in your circle who cannot see something better for themselves and they see something better for you. They're judging you based on the limitations and restrictions they've placed on their life. They're speaking from their opinion and their perception. And you are taking the grade that they are giving you and you are using it as one of the elements in which you grade yourself, as well as you predict the possibilities of your life. You need people in your life that believe that there's no such thing as the impossible. You need people in your life that have determined that they're not going to be plateaued in this life, that they're going to continuously strive to be better each and every day. You need people in your life that are going to sit up and look at you and hold you accountable for when you decide that you're going to shrink back down to a place of comfort. You need people that understand that power is not achieved in comfort, that success is not achieved in comfort, that financial wealth is not achieved in comfort. There's nothing that can be withheld from you when you decide that you're going to make it a purpose to get it, that you're going to make it a point in your life to have it, that you're going to set out plans and goals to go get it. It cannot be withheld from you. I've shared this with you before. Like I said, every time I recite it, it gets more and more embedded in my heart. It's a part of my own belief system. So it's easy for me to recite and it's easy for my subconscious to accept because it's already a part of my belief system, but I absolutely love it. It's a quote of Muhammad Ali and it's on impossibility. He says impossible is a big word tossed around by small men who find it easy to live in a world they've been given than to find it more easy to live in a world that they've been given rather than examine or explore the power that they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact. Impossible is an opinion. It is not a declaration. It is a dare. It is temporary. It is potential. It is nothing. Now, I may have messed that up a little bit, but you get it. I think the potential goes before the temporary, but you get what I'm saying. When you get people like that around you, people that are just not going to be happy with the status quo, no matter how good the status quo feels, then you are in an environment where you're going to be constantly challenged to raise your standard of living. You're going to be constantly challenged to raise your level of expectation. And remember, I've been sharing with you and I've been teaching you guys that that God, the universe, and everything else in this world will only meet you at your level of expectation. You cannot consistently live above what you expect out of life. It's impossible. You're only going to get what you expect. Stop expecting the negative. Stop expecting to fail. Stop expecting to exist in mediocrity. Stop allowing yourself to be comfortable in mediocrity. Raise your expectations. Raise your standards of living. Raise your push level. My push level is that thing that I have to hit. If I'm not hitting it, I'm not happy. Raise your push level consistently. But you got to continuously be aware of who you are, where you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it. Self-awareness is key. You cannot be, if you don't have a sense of self-awareness, you're moving around capriciously through life with no sense of direction, no sense of purpose, no idea of where you're going or how you're going to get there. And then you're expecting something to happen for you, wishing and you're wishing. And that gives you this idea that some people are simply lucky. No, some people don't make plans and some people do. Some people don't set goals and some people do. Some people sit around and wait for others while some people decide they're going to take things into their own hands. That is the distinct difference. That's it. That is it. And for those of you that think you can just wander into the favor of God, God showed his favor when he designed you. When he implanted this uniqueness in you that only you have. When he gifted you with something that you have failed to refine. When he gave you a genius to access that gift and to use that gift. He favored you then. Now it's up to you. You can't find favor in that thing which you have not shown good stewardship. You are a steward of your gift. You are a protector and guarder of your genius. But you're sitting on it. You're meandering through the maze of mediocrity because you've camped out with mediocre people who want nothing more than just fit in. You weren't designed to fit in. That's it. You're trying to find comfort in something that was not ever meant to be comfortable. Being mediocre should never be comfortable. Being average should never be comfortable. Just simply settling should not be something that's comfortable. You should feel uneasy when you're not living at your potential. It should be something that shakes you at the core when you're doing something that does not contribute to your potential, contribute to your growth, contribute to your ability to impact the lives of other people. That's another thing. I'm going to leave you with this, man. When you're sitting up and you're taking that inventory, one of the questions that you're going to have to ask yourself, and you have to be absolutely honest with yourself when you ask this question, is that you need to ask yourself, am I positively impacting the lives of others? Because every last one of us, no matter what our gift is, what we're good at, what we're great at, what we are exceptional at, no matter what it is, the end game of it all is to impact others, to make the world a better place than when you found it, to touch people's lives and leave them changed. That's your goal. Now, how you do it is dependent on your design. It's dependent upon your purpose. But the fact that you have to be touching lives and impacting lives and changing lives is absolutely a requisite of you living in your purpose. Ask yourself, am I positively impacting the lives of the people in my periphery first? And then how far outside of my periphery, my immediate circle, am I impacting people? I tell you all the time, people, I'm a down E. I get giddy every time I think about it. Say, man, you're looking to die? No, I want to live as long as I possibly can. But I get giddy of thinking about what I'm leaving behind. That's what matters to me more than this life, is that when I leave it so impacted that my legacy speaks for me for generations after I'm gone. See, we spend a lot of time glorifying our heroes from the past without really studying their lives. We are talking about them 50 years after their death because they sold out to their purpose. Get giddy thinking about what I will do with what God gave me. And you should be giddy too. I'm going to down E. I'm going to leave nothing unturned, nothing undone. I'm going to go to bed every night the way I go. Drained. Why? Because I left it all on the battlefield. Now I'm laying down because I need to be rejuvenated and replenished. And when I get up in the morning, I'm going after it again. Why take it to bed with me when I can't? It does me no purpose, because tomorrow holds its own challenges. I love you guys. That's one of the reasons why I fight so hard. I identify with you, and I want you to experience life at a level that you haven't experienced it before. Take control of your life. Take an examination and an inventory of where you're at right now. Become aware, and then start to work on those things. Start to make adjustments. Now is the time that you start. You're building your future with everything you invest in every second. You can only get back what you invest. You can only have back what you invest. That's it for now. I hope you have an awesome day. I got a lot of other things to get into, but it is awesome to sit down in the morning and share with you guys. Keep your head up, stay focused, and remember, you live in this life with a purpose. There's no such thing as just moving around and waiting on life to happen to you. You need to start happening to life. That's it. I'm out. Peace.